Toolbox Talks, Portable Fire Extinguishers. The first purpose of a fire extinguisher is a tool to ensure a safe pathway out of a building during a fire. The second may be to extinguish incipient stage fires only. What is an incipient fire? It is an initial stage fire that is small in size and can be controlled by a portable fire extinguisher, and the flames have not expanded to any structure or larger fuel source. How are fires started? All fires are started by a combination of three items. A fuel source needs to be present, oxygen is available, and there is a heat or an ignition source. The combination of these three items can create a chemical reaction resulting in a fire. So how does a fire extinguisher work? Fire extinguishers work because they separate one of the three items necessary for a fire. For example, the most common type of fire extinguisher, an ABC dry chemical, works by creating a barrier between oxygen and the fire's fuel source. A CO2 fire extinguisher works by cooling the fire to below its flash point. Different fire extinguishers are used in different types of fires. The likely types of fires at Wausau Supply include Type A fires. These include ordinary combustibles such as wood and paper. Type B fires. These include combustible liquids such as diesel fuel, propane, and hydraulic oil. Type C fires. These are electrical fires. Because these are the most likely fire types, most of the fire extinguishers at Wausau Supply are ABC dry chemical fire extinguishers. There are many types of fire extinguishers in the workplace. However, the most prevalent type of fire extinguisher at Wausau Supply Company is a stored pressure extinguisher. This type of extinguisher contains the extinguishing agent and the expelling gas in a single chamber, similar to an aerosol can. Next, we will review the anatomy of a fire extinguisher. It is important to understand how to safely inspect and use an extinguisher. The data plate. This provides important information such as the type of fire extinguisher and the agent within. This example is an ABC type fire extinguisher. The carrying handle. This is the proper way to transport the extinguisher. The discharge lever. This is what is depressed to expel the extinguishing agent. The pin. By pulling this, it allows you to use the discharge lever. The pressure gauge. This indicates how full the extinguisher is. The discharge hose. This is used to aim the extinguisher at the fire. And the discharge nozzle, which also aids in aiming the extinguisher at the fire. Inspection of portable fire extinguishers is extremely important, as a fire extinguisher is a potentially life-saving device and it must work. By regulation, all fire extinguishers must have a documented inspection monthly and an annual inspection by a qualified vendor. However, more routine, informal inspections will ensure that each extinguisher is ready for use. The items to inspect include the tag. Every fire extinguisher must have a tag from a qualified vendor. This tag will identify when the last annual inspection was, as well as the date of each monthly inspection. Levers and handles. These must be free of bends, cracks, and other deformities. The hose. The hose must be free of cracks, properly attached to the extinguisher, and the nozzle must be in place. The tamper seal. This seal must be unbroken. If the seal is broken, even if the pressure gauge is in the green, report this to your leader to have the extinguisher formally inspected and a new seal installed. The pressure gauge. The arrow within the pressure gauge must be in the green area. Lastly, inspect the area where the fire extinguisher is stored. The storage location must be completely clear. No tools, boxes, or other materials may be stored in front of a fire extinguisher. Remember, in an emergency, if you can't get to the extinguisher quickly, you won't be able to use it. The next step is how to safely utilize a fire extinguisher. Remember, no employee is required to fight a fire, and it should only be done if it can be done safely. The first thing that needs to be done is to assess the area. Remember, a fire extinguisher is only to be used on incipient fire stages and as needed to ensure a safe pathway out of a building. It is a good practice to have a second person present. This person is there to watch for changes that might negatively affect the safety of those fighting the fire. At all times, a clear and safe egress or exit route must be maintained. And ensure that there is enough space to safely fight the fire. 6 to 10 feet is recommended. When using a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. PASS stands for Pull, Aim, Squeeze, Sweep. Pull the pin from the extinguisher. Aim at the base of the fire. Do not aim at the top. Remember to stand back 6 to 10 feet. Squeeze the lever to discharge the agent. Sweep the extinguisher and agent spray left and right until the fire is extinguished. To recap, safety of people is a priority over any building, equipment, or material. Know the type of fire you are dealing with. Ensure it is safe to fight a fire. Only fight incipient stage fires and make sure your exits are not compromised. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep when using an extinguisher to fight a fire. So, in review, true or false? A fire extinguisher may only be used to ensure a safe pathway out of a building or on an incipient stage fire. True. What does the acronym PASS mean? Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the lever, sweep the extinguisher. Remember that many potential injuries can be prevented by taking the appropriate precautions and making sure we are following the company instructions in regard to when and how to use portable fire extinguishers.